Hello, everybody. My name is Ricardo Cabrera, and I am with the Latino Chamber of Commerce of Boulder County. And today we're going to talk with Marisa Bailon, and she is the Collective Impact Coordinator at the Longman Economic Development Partnership. Hi, Marisa. How are you today?
Hola, Ricardo. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
So today we're going to talk about the 5-star certification program. And Marisa, and in all fairness and transparency, Marisa and I are both in the group that helped organize this. Marisa was leading the Equitable Task Force, which I was a part of, as well as being a part of the committee, couple of committees, and with the association there that put it together. So we just want to make sure that we talk about it, we introduce it to you guys so you know what it is, how it works, and what to expect. So let's start with that, Marisa. I want you to tell us, what is the 5-star program?
So in short, the 5-star certification program is really, it's an opportunity for businesses to operate at a level lower than what we are when it comes to COVID-19 restrictions. So, so say for example, if we were in orange and a business was certified under the 5-star certification program, they could operate in yellow, which still requires that a lot of the practices that we have all adopted are still happening. So masks are still being worn, you're still 6 feet apart. So all of those things are still into place, but the 5-star certification program gives that assurance to the public and to the employees that there are extra measures set in place to really keep the customers as well as the employees safe during these times. So it's almost like a certification in recognition of going that extra step in keeping us all safe during the pandemic while we can still operate and function as we normally would if we weren't in a pandemic.
Yes, so thank you for that. So, so if you are certified, you can operate one level lower. Right now, we are in level yellow. So in essence, we would be able to work on blue. If we were to go back up to orange, then you can continue working on, you would work on yellow, which really, I mean, it's our effort, it's the county's effort to allow the economic environment and ecosystem to continue working as much as possible, even though, you know, the COVID pandemic and restrictions are around. So tell me, Marisa, then what do you need? Who qualifies? Let's start with that. Who qualifies for this program?
Yeah, and if I miss anybody, Ricardo, please definitely jump in. But for the most part, when it comes to those who are qualified, it's brick and mortar locations, whether that be retail, restaurant, services. But businesses that are at your home, unfortunately, do not qualify. Large manufacturing also doesn't qualify. Really, it's those, again, brick and mortar facing businesses that are seeing customers come in and out of their facilities. So again, as I mentioned, you know, restaurants, retail,
Gyms, personal services, so hair cutting places and, you know, nail salons, massage places as well. But just to be fair, the other businesses that you mentioned that don't qualify for the program, they follow different rules. So they still have to have their own level of safety and standards, but they don't qualify for the program because this program is intended for you know, Main Street type of shops, you know, so retails where the public is involved.
Exactly.
Very cool. So, so what does it take? Tell me a little bit then about the application process. What does that look like for somebody?
Yeah, so the application process, I mean, you can find the application in the Boulder County Chamber's website. And I'm sure, Ricardo, when you post this video, you can go ahead and put that link there for anyone who's curious and looking at all of that. But it's a fairly simple process. Really, you just go through that application process, and then at that point, you'll be given a link, given information, given these resources that actually helps you prep prior to being contacted by an inspector to set a time and a day to come in. So those materials that you're given once you do apply really set you up for success so that whenever an inspector does come, you already have your facility already set to be certified. And our inspectors, the inspectors that are about, they are very flexible in working with you. So say you believe that you've gotten everything done that you needed to get done, but the inspector comes by and there's a few things that just need to get tweaked. That inspector will definitely help you right then and there get to that position where you can get certified, rather than getting marked off and then having to reschedule another inspection. So a lot of it can be done in the beginning stages before actually getting that that full inspection done. And there are certain steps that we put in place. As you noted, Ricardo, we had that equity task force portion that was at every step of the way when it comes to the implementation, the deployment, and the initial setups, in recognition that not everyone is going to have the equal access to this program. So we made sure to make the materials in both Spanish and English for those that feel more comfortable with their native language in our Latino businesses, as well as there is a grant opportunity for those businesses, you know, taking into consideration we are in a pandemic and it has been a bit difficult for businesses. Sometimes $100, which is the application fee, can be a bit much for some businesses at this moment. So there is an opportunity to get assistance with that, if that is the only barrier that's holding them back from getting certified.
Yeah, cool. So let me back up a couple steps and talk about the first part, you know, talking about the application itself. So there is a, let's see, the process that we created for this program is a collaborative, friendly type of a process. So we're not here to get you and there's going to be no gotcha moments. We're actually, the inspectors actually show up with like extra signage. If what you're missing is a sign, we'll have signs for you. And if you're missing anything, we will definitely guide you and help you. Our goal is to certify 100% of the businesses that apply the first time inspectors show up. So we're really all pushing in the same direction to make sure that it's a streamlined process, and that by the time the inspector shows up, you're done. You know, it's just a checklist that we're going to do. There is a pre-check document that you're supposed to, the business completes, that tells you everything you need to do and everything you have to have ready. And once that's done, then you can call for the inspection to happen. That's how we try to strive for this 100%. You know, we show up and then you get certified. So that's that on that. So it's really not a complicated application. The complicated part is the checklist that. And to be even more fair, most everything you have to do, businesses already do. It's just a little elevated awareness of things that businesses do, you do have to keep contact tracing. So get somebody's name and phone number or email address, one per table if it's a restaurant. You have to take the temperature maybe of the employees as they show up, not necessarily the public, but internally the employees. Wear a mask. The chemicals that you use to disinfect have to be a little elevated and EPA approved, stuff like that. You know, maybe the filter on your HVAC, but it's not rocket science. It's simple and just give us all the ability to track and make sure we're doing better. The second part you talked about was my favorite, was the equitable task force. And what you did there was brilliant. So let me start by saying we defined, or the team, you defined equity as, let's see if you remember this, it was language, finances, technology, location, and culture. So the process, we made sure that all those points were covered. So we have everything in English and in Spanish, as you mentioned. We have access to an on-demand language service. So if somebody speaks any language, we can help them as well. And it's live and on demand. And as well as, you know, financial assistance. So if you can't afford any part of it, there are grants for that. Location, we're everywhere. And we can, even a rural Boulder County area, we can get there and inspect. And culture, meaning that we have inspectors and individuals helping that are not only bilingual, but bicultural. So thank you for that, Marisa.
Yeah, thank you for doing that that re-wrap up on there too, just to make sure that again, a lot of this information is out there and it can be a bit complex. So what we really want to do is just make sure that people are getting all the information from all the different angles. So I appreciate you bringing that again in a different way, because we all learn in different ways, which is a part of equity as well, is being sure that people are getting different angles of the information so that they can grasp it the way that they understand it best.
Yeah. So, and here's the question that I ask, is the elephant in the room right now, because so, you know, when we started the program, we were expecting like 500 applicants in the first week of the program. But the coincidence is that that same week, the state went to yellow. So businesses didn't apply in as fast as we thought. So we're thinking now this is more of a long process where people will slowly go through the program. But the question is, why should you do it? I mean, if we're in yellow, what's the difference?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we are still in a pandemic. There is still COVID about. We've recognized, you know, no one was prepared when COVID hit. And really this has given us kind of a leg up on being prepared. If that dial does end up going back up, you don't want to wait until the last minute to then get certified, because then everybody's going to get certified or get in that rush to get certified. And then at that point, it's going to be delayed. So there's a lot of variables that you just don't want to, welcome. So that would be my first thing is, you know, preparation. It gets you set up. And the assurance, again, for your employees and for your customers that are coming in. If you're at 2 different restaurants and you're looking at 2 different doors and trying to make a decision, and one of them is 5-star certified and the other one is not, in knowing that one business is 5-star certified, you know, as a customer, that they're taking much higher level precautions and they actually have the support there, and they have been certified by an inspector. And feel free, again, Ricardo, to give more context or in a different perspective of why you believe that the 5-star certification program is still valuable, even though the dial has gone down.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like it's $100 insurance, right? If we do go back up, you will be able to continue working as you are today. Now, there may be some restaurants that being in yellow doesn't make sense because, you know, if you were to work in blue, you know, for some restaurants like that are size limited, right? Smaller restaurants, you still have to maintain the 6-foot distance between tables, for example, in a restaurant or in a gym. So if you're in a small location, there might not be such a big impact going from yellow to blue. But if we were to go back up to orange, then it makes a difference because you can work on yellow, which makes the difference, you know, distance-wise and capacity-wise. And also definitely the social peer pressure, you know, if you have it and somebody else does, and they may be, you know, a decision maker, whether you go here or there. Excuse me. Yeah, so I would still like to encourage and invite everybody to apply. It's a simple process. It's uncomplicated, and it does give the community the security, the safety to know that your business is going the extra mile to assure the safety of yourself, your employees, and your neighbors and customers. Okay, Marisa, did I forget anything? What else can we talk about with a 5-star?
I believe that was the main points, you know, what the 5-star program is, who is eligible, what are the benefits of going into the certification program if the dial has gone down. I think we hit most of those portions. So really the big part is now just spreading the word and continuing to give that awareness to our community at large, as well as, you know, our business industries out here.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time, Marisa. And thank you everybody for listening. I am going to put all this information down here on the description, so you'll have a link to the 5-star certification program and all the information you need to apply and get certified and pre-qualified and everything. So before we go, Marisa, I have a surprise question for you. Are you ready?
Of course you do.
Okay, here we go. So what motivates you?
Oh my goodness. What motivates me? Well, collaborative efforts, any sort of mission, goal, or priority or initiative that brings us all as community members, and having that diverse, inclusive collaboration, that really motivates me more than anything, really, because it's, bringing in expertise from all over in different perspectives into the mix. And I think that's the way that we can really succeed as a community. It's just major collaboration. So
excellent. Beautiful. And with that, thank you very much. Until next time.
thank you, Ricardo.